it's also a really good time to reflect. And the thing about reflection for me is it's always like to have a reflection as a contrast to something. Like to see myself in the mirror, I have to be in front of the mirror to see my reflection, to contrast back off of an image. See a reflection in the lake, there has to be something that's over there, and it's just, it's a contrast. And so tonight we're going to work with contrast and be able to look outwards and then also look inwards. And in that way, my offering is the class as a way to have reflection. So please find a comfortable position to sit in. And if you're sitting on your bottom, maybe take the skin of your glutes and just bring it out to the side and let your sitting bones come closer to the floor. Root your sitting bones into the earth, let your legs get heavy, take a big breath in. Look up, reach your hands high, and then let everything come to the floor. Let your arms be heavy, your legs be heavy, let your body and your head be heavy. Take another big breath in, expand the back of your ribs. And then exhale and fold even deeper. Then on your next inhalation, roll up through your spine like a tank track. Your hands may slide closer to your thighs. Let your chest lift. Let the last thing that come up be your head. And feel the crown of your head lift to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, keep the lift in your torso as your weight sinks down into your bottom. And then one more breath here. Feel the front, the sides, the backs of your ribs expand. And then as your ribs come in, let your sitting bones and your legs get heavy and keep your head coming high. Just an opportunity to see what it's like to fold forwards, release tension, and then bring back just what's needed in your body. And can you have that contrast of heaviness in one part and lightness in another? This beautiful thing in yoga where you get to pull in opposite directions. You get to play with different directions. One more loving breath here. Feel the lift as air comes into your lungs and then send the bottom of your body down. And if you've happened to close your eyes, come to blink your eyes open. And then let's move from here to an all fours position. So bring your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. We're going to do two types of cat-cow movements. So the first one is going to be slow, segmental, very intentional, and then the second one is just going to be completely free. Okay? So the first one, I want you to pull hands and knees towards each other slightly. Round your back, tuck your chin to your chest, and pull your tailbone forward. So you've got this nice arc and round in your whole spine. Good. Keep your chin to your chest, like a wave coming in from the beach. Move just your hips, and then move just your low back. Then maybe your mid back, and then your low ribs. Then let your heart come forwards. And then once that's all happening, then slowly lift your chin. And then to reverse that, bring your chin to your chest, so just your neck coming down. And then the wave comes back into the ocean, so push up through your shoulders, roll through your ribs, tailbone still high until the very end where it tucks underneath. Slow and controlled. Let's do that once again. Chin to chest, round spine, press into your hands, press into your knees. Now move just your hips like you're sticking your bum up in the air, like you had a tail that would go to the ceiling. Then your low back to your mid back, your low ribs to behind your heart, all coming towards the floor until finally your neck extends to get a nice U shape in your spine. And then starting from your head, tuck your chin to your chest, slow and controlled. See if you can feel the different areas of your back. As you bring chin to chest, your shoulders come high. Then your low ribs, then your mid back,
Keep your tail tucked. This is where tension helps. And then low back, and then tuck your tailbone in underneath. Okay, starting from the head this time. Lift your head, lower through your shoulders, through your ribs. Keep your tailbone tucked. Then send your belly to the floor, and then lift your sitting bones. Keeping your head high, start the way from your hips. So tuck your pelvis forwards, roll through the lower part of your spine, then the middle part. Slowly come up into your ribs. Find the spots that move and you can't really feel it, and bring more intention there. Finally, your chin comes to your chest. Then chin comes high. Take your heart towards the floor. Your low ribs, your sternum, your mid-back, your belly, and the last thing that happens is your tailbone sticks in the air. So stick your tail up once again. Good. Take a big inhalation here. Hold it in. And then as you exhale, start to just let your body move. Don't worry about where your breath is coming in and out. I highly encourage you to close your eyes and just to move. You could come and bring your shoulders to the front of your mat. You could sit towards your heels. You could work just your hips. You could work your torso like it's on the inside of a barrel. You could lift legs. You could stand. You could do whatever you want. Move your head. Stick your tongue out. Let your arms bend, let your knees bend. And then lose yourself in it. We're going to be here for another minute or so. There's no right way to do this. There's no wrong way to do this. There is only to do as you feel. You can move fast, you can move slow. And then take one more long breath in and out. And then final moving breath here. Draw your breath in. And then as you breathe out, can you come back to stillness? And pause. And just see what you notice. What's there? Through having awakened your spine, what's the temperature of your body? Has your body moved? Good. If it has, just bring yourself back into alignment. Now extend your left leg straight out behind you. Pull your arms in towards each other, keeping your belly tucked up to your spine. Create a little width through your kidneys. And lift your back leg. And then lower. And then lift your back leg. Turn your toes out to the side and come to try to touch your knee and your elbow together. And then send your leg back out. Turn your toes to the floor and then touch your toes down. Let's do that one more time. Lift back leg. Rotate out to the side. Keep your leg as high as you can and as straight as you can as you bring it as far forwards as you can. And then take it all the way back. Toes to the floor. Bring your left knee down to the ground. Coming in for the right side. Right leg long. Now, bring some intention into your arms. So bring your elbow pits forward. Squeeze your palms together and feel that your shoulders and your chest are active. A little tuck forward of your tailbone so you have width across your kidneys and your belly's pulled up to your spine. Kind of like, I guess, T-spine on floor if you were, or lower spine on floor if you were on a reformer lying down. And then lift your right leg. Use your glute, use your quad, and then rotate your leg 90 degrees so your toes point out to the side. And then sweep forwards and keep it as high as you can. And then send it back, toes to the floor,
foot down. Big breath in. As you exhale, make your body tense, engage your back leg, lift it, rotate out to the side, and then sweep it forwards. Lift it as high as you can, bring it as far forwards as you can, and then take it back, set it down. Good, back to the left leg going long, and then take your right hand out in front of you and have just your fingertips on the floor. So your balance is on your left hand and your right knee, maybe your right toes. Then lift your left leg, pull your belly up so that you're firm across the back of your spine, and then lift your right arm, bicep to your ear, if that's possible for you. Maybe you look slightly forwards, but keep thinking about belly button pulling high, and then pull your leg a little higher and bring your arm a little higher. And then with an exhalation, bring your knee and your elbow together across your body. And then send your body out and long. Bring your toes and your finger back to the floor. Bring your knee and your palm back to the floor. And we'll do the same on the opposite side. Extend your right leg. Extend your left fingertips. So pause and get a sense of the diagonal balance that you're creating here. Pull belly in, come wide across the back of your body. Use your right glute and quad and hamstring to lift your leg. And then if that is comfortable, relatively, really, then bring left arm, bicep to ear. Belly still pulls up, hand and knee push to floor. Left arm, right leg still lift to ceiling. For 3, for 2, on your next exhalation, bring your elbow and your knee together, round your spine. Inhale, take your leg long, take your arm long, pull your belly to your spine. We're holding here for 3, 2, 1. Bring your toes down, bring your fingers down, and then bring your palm down and your knee down. Lovely. From this position, look down at your hands and spread your fingers wide and have your shoulders over your wrists. I want you to push into your fingers as though you're trying to slide your hands forwards on your mat. Squeeze your thumbs together, walk your knees slightly back, tuck your toes, keeping all of this, lift your hips, open your shoulders, and maybe your knees stay lovely and bent. So if you're looking at the camera, you notice my knees are bent here and my spine is really lovely and long. All right? So there's nothing wrong in a downward facing dog to bend your knees to great length through your spine. Some of you may be able to have your legs straight, that's fine, but if you're really rounded in your back or you feel like you're in a push-up position, bend your knees. Just bend your knees. It's all good. Lovely. Come forward to a plank position. Bring your shoulders over your wrists. And then lift your bum, push yourself back. If you bent your knees the first time, maybe bend your knees again this time. Long through your spine, open through your shoulders, pressing firmly into your fingers. Good. Look to your hands, and then slowly, with as many steps as you need, walk your feet to your hands. And then forward fold. I invite you to bend your knees so your belly and your thigh are in contact. And then let your head and your shoulders hang. Let your arms be loose, and maybe your fingertips are on the floor. And I highly encourage you, bend your knees. It'll give you release through your spine. Especially if you're like me and you've got tight hamstrings. As you breathe in, feel how your ribs press into your thighs and widen through the back of your body. And then as you exhale, can you lift your sitting bones a little, press your heels to the floor, and let your head hang even more. And then do that 2 more times. Good. On your next inhalation, we're going to move. If your knees were bent, leave them bent. As you inhale, bring your spine parallel with the floor. Bring your hands to the front of your shins.
and engage your shoulder blades together. I want you to feel your heart coming down towards the floor, and then stick your bum out behind you as the crown of your head goes out in front of you. Lovely, and then fold forwards. And then inhale and come back up. Good, from that position, bring your hands to your heart, press down through your feet, and come all the way to stand. And if you're and then come to the front of your mat if you're anywhere else. Good. Take a breath in, take your arms high. As you exhale, fold forwards. Remember, knees to bend, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. This is called Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. With an inhalation, lift your right leg towards the ceiling. Press your hands into the floor, draw your shoulder blades wide. As your knee comes to your chest, make an upside down U shape with your shoulders and step your right leg forward between your hands. And don't worry if it takes a few goes to walk your foot forwards. If you're already here with me, squeeze your legs in and then draw your shoulder blades together so you come a little farther forwards. That's good. Now everyone press down into your feet and then lift and bring your hands to your hips. So back leg is straight, left leg is straight, right leg is bent. Now the bend in your front leg depends on how straight you can keep your back leg. So if your back leg wants to bend, your front leg may be less bent. Pull your pelvis up. Lift through your heart and take your arms up high. Squeeze your legs into your thighs. Take a breath as your thighs come together. Lift up through your spine, out through your head, out through your fingers. Good. As you exhale, bring your hands to your heart. And then continue to exhale as you take your hands to the floor and your belly to your thigh. And then work your way to step back to bring your feet back into a downward facing dog. Next side, inhale, lift your left leg. And then as you bring your knee to your chest to bring it forwards, press down into your hands, protract or bring your shoulder blades away from each other. Your foot may step in about halfway. You can grab the front of your shin and walk it forwards. Pull your right hip forwards and your left hip back. Press down into your feet and with an inhalation, come up tall, bring your hands to your hips. You may want to keep your hands here. Maybe on your next breath in, you take your hands up. Squeeze your legs, reach up to the ceiling, and then maybe see if there's any bend in your front knee, a little bit extra. Nice strong stretch through your right hip flexor. Then bring your hands down, and with an exhalation, bring your belly to your thigh, hands to floor, and then maybe you step back a few times, and downward facing dog. Come forward to a plank position, bring your knees to the floor, and then lower your belly to the floor. Untuck your toes and press your toenails into the floor. And then do that with enough energy that your kneecaps lift off the floor. Take your shoulder blades towards your ears. Lift the heads of your arm bones to the ceiling. And then engage the tips of your shoulder blades. So feel how your collarbones can come wide. Lovely. From there, keeping all of that together, inhale, draw your heart forwards, press into your hands, and lift your spine off the floor. Your back muscles know they're working. Your thighs and your hips are pushing into the floor. Your arms are squeezing to your ribs. Chest lifts. Exhale, lowering all the way to the floor. Tuck your toes once again. Push up into an all fours position. And then push your legs back, downward facing dog one more time. Bend your knees. It lets you set your bum up in the air a lot more. And you get length through your side and through your armpit. Next inhalation. Lift your right leg once again. Bring your knee to your nose, transfer your weight to your hands, and step your right leg forwards. Rotate your left heel to the floor. Sweep your left arm up and around as you come up. Your arms now come out from your shoulders. Your back foot is parallel with the back edge of your mat, and your front toes are pointing straight forwards, and your knee is over your toes. Tuck your pelvis in, pull your low ribs down. Take a breath in as you squeeze your thighs gently in towards each other. Lift through your spine. And as you exhale, pull your feet apart, extend your arms long, and lift through the crown of your head. Good. Flip your front palm. Take a little lean forwards. Feel length through the left side of your body. As you push your left leg into the floor, come up and over your left hip and come straight high. So from your right hip through your armpit to your hands, you've got length. Maybe from there, you have a little bit extra ability to take yourself and round slightly or lean to the back of your mat. But if you're pinching in your left hip, just come straight up. Wherever you are, take a breath in to expand your right ribs. Exhale, hips reach down, hand reaches high. Good. Inhale, bring your hands back. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Then your back hand comes all the way like a big swimming front stroke as your hands come down to the floor. Step your right leg back. Inhale, lift your left leg. Bring your left leg forward, step it between your hands. Rotate your right foot to the floor. And then like you're in a Ferris wheel, your arms come up. So back foot parallel with the back edge of your mat, front toes pointing forwards. And that's a good position to squeeze your thighs together. So you try it here, squeeze your legs together. Notice that you can really grip and then you're really stable to lift up and lengthen through your side body. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, expand your legs, expand your arms. That's a sort of that inner millimeter or so of movement you might find. And then flip your front palm. Draw yourself forwards. And then come straight up. So wrist, shoulder, hip in line with each other. If there's a little space for your front leg to bend, maybe you can reach up higher and maybe you can lean back. But you don't have to. Because the expansion in your left side here is what the focus is. So if you have that, that's enough. Big breath in, expand. Exhale, let maybe your hips come down and your arm comes higher. And then inhale to come back. Exhale, bring your both hands to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Come forward to a plank position. Lower yourself all the way to the floor. Maybe your knees come down first. Untuck your toes and press them down so that your kneecaps lift. Engage your shoulder blades together so that your shoulder blades come away from your ears. Press into your hands. Press your hips into the floor. And then lift and peel your spine off the ground. Coming up with no pain and with tension in your legs. And then exhale and lower to the floor. Tuck your toes. Push up through all fours. And then push your legs back, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look forwards. Walk your feet to the front of your mat once again. This Uttanasana forward fold position. Inhale, half lift, long spine. Exhale and fold. Sweep your arms to the side, press down through your feet and come all the way up and find your hands coming up above your head. And then bring your hands down to your heart. Good. Come to find a kneeling position. Now this may be a position where
your blocks will be handy. I'll show you with and without the blocks. So to get a little bit more focus into what we can access through opening our heart, this looking outwards, let me demonstrate it first, and then we'll do it together. So you can take my toes tucked and grab onto your butt. Okay? So I squeeze my legs, I've got my hands on the top of my bum, and I lift my heart, and then I can send my hips forwards as my chest goes backwards. This may be enough. Elbows squeeze, breath comes up the front of your body and then down the back of your body. Maybe you've got the space to reach back for your heels, hips forwards, heart high. Maybe your neck comes in line with your spine. If you have blocks, then you can use them either side of your legs, and it can help to give you a different ability if your heels are too far away. But just grabbing your own bum and just going shallow is enough. So let's give it a try together. So start with your toes tucked. Come long through your spine. Take your hands back and get a good grab at the top of your bum, and then engage your glutes into your hands. Good. Roll your shoulders to your ears and down, and then squeeze your shoulder blades together so you feel wide across the front of your chest. Take a deep breath in, feel you lengthen from your knees through your hips to your shoulders, and then let your hips come forwards as you lean back. And try to lean back from not just above your hips, but can you lean back from your mid-back and from your upper back? Your hands will press forcefully into your hips. Continue to breathe, send your breath coming up the front of your body. Feel expansion up the front, shoulder blades down and under to help your heart slide back. Maybe your hands come to your knees, maybe they stay on your hips. Continue to breathe. The focus and intention is your heart coming high. Not your chin, not your nose, but your heart. Expand from your pelvis to your ribs as you breathe in. And then as you exhale, soften your shoulder blades into your heart and let your head look to the ceiling. Good. And then slowly, with an inhalation, bring yourself back out of position. Untuck your toes. Sit your hips to your knees and sit tall. And just take a breath here and then a sigh out your mouth. Bring your legs through in front of you and find a diamond shape with your legs. Press your feet slightly together. Take your hands to probably the top of your shins. And then as you pull your hands to your heart, bring your heart forwards. And then round your spine as you fold forwards and walk your hands forwards. Maybe your hands stay on your shins. Maybe they stay on the top of your shins. Maybe your hands come far forwards in front of you. Up to you and your hips. But here I want you to be in a position where you can be comfortable and let your head hang, let the tension come out of your shoulders and your back. To be able to be here, to allow yourself to soften. You can have your legs close to your groin, you can have them farther away. I find the farther away they are, there's a bit more of a bending forwards. And breathe. From that heart opening Ustrasana or camel pose that we had, now we've got this inner looking, inner reaching butterfly fold. Continue to use your exhalation to allow tension to come out of your body. And I want you to be here and just more of a hang than a hold. There's really no pulling or tension required in your body. Just the ability to breathe, let your heart rate slow, let your body be calm. And in your next inhalation, like a tank track, bring yourself back up, shoulders over hips. Take your feet onto the pointing out in front of you so that you can then round your spine and lay yourself down to the ground. Even use your hands behind your hamstrings just to make sure you don't have to use any more force than is necessary. Take your arms out into a T shape and let your knees fall to one side. And then bring them up through center and let them fall to the opposite side. And then bring them up once again, pointing towards the ceiling. And then let your legs extend. Let your calves come to the floor. Let your hands come closer to the side of your body and walk your shoulder blades under your back. Take a big breath in with me here. And a big sigh out your mouth. As you let your body relax and sink into the floor. The law of least effort describes doing less to accomplish more. Looking at that which we need energy to do, to achieve, and that which we can let go of the energy we spend on it, because it's not really what is serving us. Maybe those things that you can focus on that aren't overly important. What if your energy was focused into the important things? May your outward and inward look on life create contrast and the ability for reflection. For your reflection can build your wisdom. Take a breath in, consciously drawing a larger volume of air into your lungs. And then exhale, send energy down your arms, down your legs. And then in your next inhalation, please roll on to your favorite side. And then take another breath in once you've had a moment of pause on your side to bring yourself back up to a seated position like you started with. Feel free to take the meat of the buttocks out from behind you to allow your sitting bones to connect towards the floor. I invite you to bring your hands to your heart. As you take a breath in, let your heart come to your hands. Expand your ribs in all directions. And as you exhale, bow your chin to your chest. I thank you for your time and your willingness. I thank you for your trust in allowing me to lead you. May your practice of yoga, of Pilates, of any strength and movement that you have, over time give you the ability to reflect on the things that you've achieved, the places you've come, the injuries you've healed from. Maybe just even the shapes in the mirror that you get to make. The things, whatever they are, that are important to you. May your reflections bring you wisdom. Thank you, and namaste.